Hey you guys, why is my glasses? Hey you guys, welcome back. Remember, if you like this, I'm kind of losing my voice, so bear with me. But if you like this, make sure you check out my podcast, Better Than Yesterday, jaylaembaby, and share it with a friend, family, and loved one to help them better themselves and be the best version of their authentic selves while reaching your goals and dreams. Let's get right into it. Hey, you guys, welcome back to the Better Than Yesterday podcast. This is Jayla and Baby, episode 27, and today we're going to be talking about how to cope with anger. Now, I do apologize in advance, I'm kind of losing my voice, but it does not steer away from the great quality content that you will be receiving today. So, here we go. First of all, let's talk about what even is anger. Okay, I think a lot of people get confused with what anger really is, and we often forget that it really truly is an emotion, and emotions need to be felt. And just like we've talked about in previous episodes, emotions are vibrations that we feel throughout our body. So we can often tell how we are feeling by how our body's reacting. So a lot of the times people may feel anxious or angry and their heart rate starts to speed up, they start to sweat, they start not to be able to think properly and things like that. So we're able to tell within our body how we are feeling in that moment, and what we do after that is basically determined by how we are and our habits as a person. So, and anger is a reaction from negative feelings, usually a few different feelings together. So maybe irritability or stress or frustration or worry or any negative emotions, but there's just like a cluster of them all together at once. And then we start to feel angry because we're overwhelmed by the emotions that we are feeling in that moment. Anger can also be a root cause from past emotions that have not been felt through clearly or properly, or maybe resentment or baggage from trauma, past traumas that we've had in the past. So, certain things may trigger us in our lifetime that cause us to be angry. And overall, anger is actually a form of being scared. A lot of men get angry, and it's also a form of just being scared. So maybe you'll notice like a lot of people who become defensive get angry because they're scared in the relationship that they may lose that person or lose that friend because they messed up, or they don't know how they're going to be able to get out of this or talk this through. They just get scared and they get angry. So it's also really important to realize that there's aggression and there's anger. Now, anger is the emotion, right? The feeling that we have. And aggression is the action that we take upon feeling angry. Aggression is typically like a push or a shove or slamming things or throwing things or just being aggressive. And it doesn't necessarily mean being aggressive towards a person. Sometimes you could just have an aggressive manner, an aggressive way of walking around and just like, slamming things and whatever it may be. That's like the reaction based off of the feeling of anger. And a lot of people don't realize that. So it strives from anger. So, yes. But it's also important to realize that not everybody who's aggressive is angry. But when you're angry, aggression comes from anger. So, yeah, let me clear that up. Anyway, let's get right into how to cope with anger when you're feeling it, because everybody feels angry, right? But also people handle anger differently. So, a lot of the time, there's people who may be feeling angry and they're not showing it. There's people who feel angry and not showing it. They can feel anger within. and not be portraying aggression or frustration or any type of way. They're just holding it inside and learn to kind of just seal it up and stuff it down. And then that's just going to cause more issues later on because you're going to be holding this stress in your body, because we talked about emotions or vibrations in our body. So when we hold in negative emotions, it puts stress on our bodies, right? So it's very important to let our emotions flow through and handle them accordingly and properly so we don't put that stress on our body. It can cause, you know, high blood pressure, stress, heart issues, stuff like that, weight gain, weight loss, we can't think properly, clearly. So it's very important that when we're feeling negative emotions, we're able to address it, feel it, and let it pass through. Just like we've talked about before, feeling your emotions is huge. The more you stuff it down, the more we're pushing it away, and then that will feel very restrictive to our emotions, because all emotions are welcome and all emotions are okay, and you're always valid to feel whatever you feel. Always. You should never be talking to anyone who makes you feel crazy for thinking some sort of way or being some sort of way, because we've all lived in a life that is different from the next person, and we've all went through different experiences and traumas and baggage than the next person. So we may feel angry or triggered by certain things. As long as we're communicating it effectively with that person, we should not be called crazy for feeling any type of emotion ever. Ever. If there's anybody who calls you crazy for feeling a certain way, you need to leave. Now, it's different if you're acting upon it. If you're feeling angry and then you're acting aggressive and throwing things, or, trying to key someone's car, just doing aggressive actions, then I'm sorry, but that's a little crazy. That's really crazy, actually. So then, that's something you need to work on. But I'm saying your feelings, not how you act upon the anger. So, how you feel, you need to recognize it and work through it. Now leads into my perfect segue of how to cope with it. So, I've realized that self growth, working on yourself day in and day out, really helps with managing your anger. Because the more you learn about other people, why people think the way they are, you become more open minded and willing to learn and seeing things from different perspectives. You become more wise, right? So you tend to not get so angry, and you give people the benefit of the doubt better. The more you learn, it changes your perspective, and you'll in turn become more patient and mindful, and it will just help you all around in every aspect of your life. So try to participate in trying to learn or grow your minds, even if it's 10 minutes a day. 10 minutes a day is 7 days a week, is 70 more minutes than last week. It's always those baby steps and consistency that will pay over time. The second thing is learn to let go of the small things first, right? If we learn to let go of small things that we used to always hold, then it will become easier to let go of the bigger things that we find that trigger us, right? Such as a lot of time people get upset with maybe road rage, right? Why does it matter? Like, why aren't we just letting it go? It's okay. Like, is that going to do you any good to wait to get mad at this person that you're probably never going to see or talk to again? When you get angry, it's like it follows you. It's hard to cool down. So try and just let things like that go. People talking to you a certain way, don't try and get so aggressive. Maybe just walk away. We can't get angry with things that we can't control, especially things other people are doing. We can't get upset about, because that's out of our control circle, right? There's a circle on the inside, which is what we can control, which is our actions, our feelings, things we do, things we say, things we eat. But the outside of it, like the economy, what's going on outside, people's feelings, people's emotions, people's reactions, we cannot control, because that's them. So keep that in mind. Learn to walk away is number 3. Okay. Learn to walk away instead of being reactive. Okay. When you feel mad or angry and you're feeling like you're about to start losing it, it's best to just walk away and cool off. Maybe meditating, taking a walk, going for a run, just stepping away so you can gather your thoughts. When you're angry, it's like you're shaking a snow globe. Okay, you're shaking a snow globe and your thoughts start to ramble in your head. All those snow particles are going everywhere and you can't think clearly because you're so in your mind with all this anger and frustration. When you walk away and learn to slow down and calm down, you are then able to think clearly. So people will always appreciate you walking away and taking that time better than losing it on them. No one's going to listen to you when you raise your voice at them. All they hear is the disrespect coming out of your mouth. Okay, all that goes out the window. Your tone of voice with people is all they start to hear. That's often why people will fight, because you're starting to talk to them like they're stupid. Your tone of voice is rude, and they're not hearing you anymore. All they're hearing is the disrespectful tone that they're hearing out of your mouth. So you don't want to do that. Work on it. Take a walk, take a walk. Another thing, humor. Humor alleviates so much negative feelings and stress, and a lot of people use it to cope, and I honestly think that laughing is one of the keys to happiness. So I think that it's a great coping mechanism as long as you're not using it as your main coping mechanism and not actually feeling out your anger. I think it's important that we feel all negative emotions at all times and let it pass. When you feel angry and you feel your heart rate coming up, I felt this the other day actually. I got into a little fight with my mom. My mom's amazing, by the way, but it's normal to fight and get into little altercations. I went upstairs, I closed my bathroom door, and I heard my mom talking to my aunt, and I was like, oh my gosh, her getting like this right now and talking about me out loud is upsetting me. What I'm going to do is I plugged my ears and I literally took very deep breaths so I could just hear my breath. And I just took a deep breath in and a deep breath out and a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And it helped me so much to calm down because my heart rate was up and I was just breathing through the anger. I wasn't trying to push it down, but I was trying to breathe through it. I felt all the anger in me built up and I was just breathing right through it. I was telling myself, it's okay, I'm angry. It's okay to feel this way. I'm just going to breathe right through it. This is an okay emotion. This is a human emotion, right? So it's also important to recognize your triggers, recognize what upsets you, what triggers you, what puts you over the edge to make you feel angry, and avoid it or find ways to deal with it. Don't put yourself in the same situation with the same people who always make you angry if that's the case. And if you happen to have to live with these people or be with these people, when you start to feel angry, find ways to be proactive to feel better than being reactive in that moment. Go for a walk, get a coffee, go talk to a friend on the phone, get out of there. If you're noticing it's making you lose it a little bit, and it's okay, we all lose it, right? It's human. But you need to do things to be proactive in those emotions, in those high emotional states. So, yeah, I hope this helped you in whatever way it may. Please share it with a friend, family, and loved one. And if you love this, please leave it a rating and review. And comment anything, any questions you may have. I would love to hear from you. And as always, remember to be 1% better than you were yesterday. Have a great day. I hope you guys absolutely loved this. If you do, make sure you check out my podcast, as I said, Better Than Yesterday on Spotify, and share this, comment, like, subscribe if you haven't already, and check out my other videos and live streams. Have a wonderful day/night, you guys.